Hey guys, welcome back to another very interesting video of Versatile Knowledge, and in this video I'll be doing the complete camera review of the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. Quite a big name and some really big things has been implemented on the camera of this device. I'll be straight away jumping onto my computer to analyze the camera samples taken on the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, and I'll be explaining you guys in detail about what do I think about the camera of this device and where exactly does this stack up in the 18,000-20,000 rupees price range. Let's get started. So guys, I've actually put all the photos that has been taken from the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max on my laptop over here in this folder, and this is the folder that I have made, guys. I'll be actually taking a look at all the camera samples that I have taken one by one, and I'll actually show you guys how the photos have come from this device. So let me go ahead and take a look at the photos one by one, and I'll actually show you guys how the quality of the photos is. Here is the shot taken from the indoor lighting conditions from the main camera. It has a softer look, noise levels are quite high since the light in the indoor lighting conditions are less, and it is actually expected from this camera. And this is a shot where we have kept the lens near to the subject and there is a natural background blur due to the large size camera sensor. This is another shot where we have taken in the outdoor lighting conditions and the dynamic range is produced excellently. The sun is right in front of me and it has captured details very well. The white balance, colors and the saturation levels of this photo is great. Another photo of this mug shot in the indoor lighting conditions, but during the daytime with natural light hitting the object in an angle. And as you can clearly see the dust accumulation on the surface, the natural background blur are captured in a fantastic way in this photograph. Here is another example of how good is the natural color reproduction of this camera, and it is evident in this picture. Upon zooming, the detail levels are quite good considering the fact that this was taken from a moving vehicle. The shadow sharpness, the details along the edges of the image are quite good enough. And here is an example of how good is this camera in terms of capturing the details of the architectural elements. The colors has been perfectly represented even in the 12 megapixel mode. Upon zooming, the details are quite good enough and you can read the board and the text that is written on the board as well. Here is an example of the details that it can capture of the moving object from a moving object, where we can see the number plate that is clearly visible and we can observe the sky is very well shown. It is balanced, it is neither too saturated nor too blown away for my preference, and the photograph has been really well represented in terms of colors, in terms of sharpness and detail levels. This is a fantastic photo and this becomes one of the memories that I have captured from this smartphone. Now this is a proper test of HDR capabilities of this camera, and as you can see it excels with flying colors. The sun does not blow away the entire scene over here. It has properly stitched the image with 3 proper exposure levels. Observe the details, the shadows on the road and the edges of the buildings. It has come out in a really fantastic way. Here is the shot taken in outdoors of my watch to showcase the photo stabilization during movement. It is quite good for this price range in my opinion. The colors are actually boosted, but the details and sharpness levels makes up for that and it looks fantastic. Details like dust accumulation, the hair on the hand, the water stains on the watch and the text inside the watch have come out in an excellent way and it looks really good. But due to the large size sensor, focus point is really narrow and the entire watch face or the entire watch is not clearly represented and there are blurrings among the edges of the watch. Here are some more camera samples which shows that this phone can capture some excellent colors, 10% above true to life colors I would say, but it is certainly pleasing to me and it looks really good in my opinion. Here is an example of occasional over sharpening that happens in the photos, especially on the edges of the photos, but that is just me nitpicking, and some people actually like sharper photos as well. Now let's take a look at some of the 108 megapixel mode camera samples. The 108 megapixel mode offers next level details, but at the same time, in the indoor lighting conditions, the 108 megapixel mode has really narrow focus point. In this image, it is clearly evident that the details on the center portion of the image is more, whereas on the left side of the image is actually softer, and the image is focused completely on the center and details are overly sharpened in the center side. But on the left side, it is kind of soft. That is clearly evident as you can see the speaker grills over here. The outdoor 108 megapixel mode offers excellent flexibility and you can adjust anything in post-production due to the amount of information that it can retain. The detail levels upon zooming is at least 5 to 6 times higher than the normal 12 megapixel photos, although I cannot exactly confirm you that the 108 megapixel mode photos is 9 times better than the 12 megapixel mode photos or not. And here are a few more examples of 108 megapixel mode photos, and it is really made for enthusiasts and not for quick photo captures, because it takes a couple of extra seconds to capture the photo and phone often gets heated up, as I have observed after taking 15 to 20 photos in 108 megapixel mode. Now let's take a look at the ultra wide angle camera photos. The photos from the ultra wide angle camera is great even though it has an 8 megapixel resolution and 118 degree field of view. It looks stunning with excellent dynamic range and less color shift from the main sensor as well. I feel these companies need to start using the ultra wide angle photos with autofocus because it gives the extra stability and extra flexibility to make sure that it can be used as a macro camera as well. Nevertheless, this phone has a really good ultra wide angle mode sensor. In movement, the ultra wide angle photos have noise and edge distortion is evident in every photo that has been taken in the moving conditions, so it is not recommended to use the ultra wide angle photos while moving and taking photos.
You hurt me, you did, several times. It hurts to admit that we're no different. I find it hard to commit, but you don't even try. Still I'm better with than without you. Oh, I'm on it, I want it, but why do you seem to call it your eyes? I can't tell if you're here or you're out there. Do you wanna be out there?
And it is commendable to see the details, sharpness in the ultra wide angle photos, and I would love to see even lesser color shift from the main sensor, which can be improved with software updates. All in all, the ultra wide angle photos from this camera in the daylight conditions is really good. Give it some extra bit of light and it can excel with flying colors. Now let's take a look at the macro mode photos of this camera. The macro camera of 5 megapixel resolution is really useful here and is not like the 2 megapixel useless macro cameras that is found on other devices. And this is probably the best macro camera I have seen in some time now. It has really close focus distance from the object, and with some patience and optimum light to the object, you can capture some of the best macro photos on a phone in this price segment. Generally, the macro camera are here to awaken a new level of creativity, but as I said earlier, brands don't need to put another lens for macro photography. They can just use the ultra wide angle camera to take some really good macros as well. Just that they need to enable the autofocus on the ultra wide angle camera to understand when the object is nearby and when the object is far away.
Do you wanna be out there? You don't need to be Prince Charming to me. I just need this to be real. I don't need no fairy tale. You don't need a killer.
Now let's take a look at the selfies of this device. This phone takes some amazing selfie photographs. Just a quick tip is that please disable the beauty mode in selfies to take some natural yet pleasing to eye photographs. Outdoor conditions, indoor light, daylight, low light, artificial light, night light or dead light, the selfies have been really improved on smartphones these days. When there are a lot of people involved in the selfies, this phone actually has a lot of noise, and except your face, other people's faces become actually noisy and become soft as well. The detail levels in selfies, the sharpness, colors of the skin, attire, beard sharpness, everything is fantastic. And in terms of the portrait mode for selfies, this does a great job as well. In terms of cutting out the background and foreground, it is actually a hit and miss. Sometimes it is good, sometimes it is actually beauty boosted to make you look white. All in all, the selfies look very good on this device in terms of details and in terms of the text that is present in the faraway objects as well. The details of the selfies are fantastic and it does a great job. to 4K 30 FPS and stabilization is just absent. There is no EIS nor there is 4K 60 FPS, and videos are though detailed cannot be watched. It actually kind of gave me a headache because of the shake that is present in the video samples. So Xiaomi needs to provide some sort of stabilization for 4K mode, which is also missing on the Xiaomi's Mi 10i. The jitter is actually observed when we are panning in the 4K mode, and it looks really bad, especially if you are viewing it on a large display. These are a few minor areas which really need to be fixed with a software update, but God knows whether Xiaomi will fix these or not. Overall, 4K videos are great for pausing them and capturing a snap out of a video, and it is a really helpful thing in my opinion. Hey guys, this video is being shot from the front camera of the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, and I'm having the sun right behind me. I'm shooting in the outdoor conditions, standing in the balcony, and do let me know about the quality of audio. I don't expect the audio quality to be really good because the audio quality from the internal microphones generally will be not so good. You can actually use the external microphone, but the default camera application does not support external microphones, so you will have to use third-party camera applications such as the Open Camera or Gcam to use the external microphone on the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max while shooting the selfie video. All in all, the camera quality is actually a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. Stabilization in 4K mode, 4K 60 FPS mode, night mode for ultra wide angle camera, ability to record using the external microphone for selfies, and a couple of more issues here and there. If Redmi can fix, this phone can beat any other smartphone in this price range. I'm not expecting Xiaomi to make some day and night difference right now, but with the regular software updates, they can make sure that this camera can be an excellent choice for any smartphone buyers in this price range. So I hope you guys have liked the camera review of the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. If you guys like this kind of videos where I take videos on the device and go to the computer and analyze the photographs and explain you guys in detail about what do I think, just let me know about your thoughts about these kind of videos in the comment section below. And if you have liked this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting and amazing content like this one. Thank you for watching, guys.